Oh, is that right? I like that.
Are we ready to? Okay. Good morning, everyone, to the Board of County Commissioners regular meeting for August 18th, 2026. If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and. Thank you. Any additions or changes to the agenda?
I have none.
Okay, the agenda will be approved as it stands. Constituent time. Is there anybody in the room that would like to address the board now? First up is Tanner Wilson. If you'd state your name and address for the record, please.
My name's Tanner Wilson. I live in 335 East Orchard Street, Hotchkiss. The reason I'm here is I've got 4 kids and I haul them to the skate park all the time. And I really think Hotchkiss would benefit from having a skate park in town. I've already been to a town meeting and out to the rec district to meet with those guys. And I went around town with my 6 and 8-year-old, doing some petitioning to see what the local residents thought of it. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback from everyone I've talked to. I've also spoke with 4 or 5 different businesses locally that all have an interest in being a part of it. The Elks Lodge said they'd be willing to host a dinner for fundraising. The tire shop up the hill said they'd be into donating stuff to a silent auction or something. Oh. And
Rex, he says he takes them to there all the time.
Yeah, I haul my boys this summer. I've hauled them all over the place, and it's always a thing to go to the skate park. And a lot of times I got to tell them no because we got to load up and drive to a different town. And I think, in my opinion, the ideal location would be at the fairgrounds, and that's why I'm here talking to you guys. I talked to the city of Hotchkiss, and nobody was opposed to it. But I also asked if they'd have any type of a property that they could donate towards it, and they don't really have anything that seems like it'd be a good location. And the Rex District also said they'd be willing to donate some ground out there, but that's kind of in the desert. And also for the younger crowd, which I think a lot of the skate park people would be, is, you know, it still kind of leaves us parents in the same boat of loading up the kids and driving out there. And if it were at the fairgrounds, I feel like that would just be kind of a perfect middle of town kind of location. And so, yeah, I'd like to make it happen. I own with my family, Wilson and Sons Construction. And so I have a lot of connections with, construction guys. And I think as far as making something happen realistically within the next few years, I could certainly be an asset for helping with that. And I'm willing to put in time to do fundraisers and all those types of things. And my understanding of the master plan of the fairgrounds is it's going to change a lot in the near future anyway. I guess those old ball fields are going away, and it seems to me like somewhere down in there, I know there's also the new, they're doing a pickleball tennis court. And I've spent some time talking with one of the gals involved with that as well. And it just seems to me like it'd be a perfect location, and the town could get a lot of use out of it. And I have some other ideas involving the area that you know could go along with it if there's an interest in it. I think you know, a picnic type area similar to they have out at the rec district, like a covered patio that's got some picnic tables on it, could draw. It would be useful during the fair time of year when there's all the food trucks and whatnot going on, and then it could also draw food trucks to want to come down, and that could potentially generate some revenue for the county, I guess. I'm not sure how that would work, but you know, I figured if we're doing a big project like a skate park, that it wouldn't be so big of a thing to add on a little bit extra to make it more appealing to other people as well. So yeah, I think basically that's all I got. I just would like to do whatever I can to make that happen for my kids and for all the other kids currently and all the kids that'll come through it over the years, cause it'll be there forever once it's, once it's concreted. So yeah, I think that's really all I have to say.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So Tanner, have you talked to Commissioner Coons, who is the District 3?
No, I've been trying to get, I came in, that's why I came here. I came in a few weeks ago trying to get a meeting with him and I was told I should come to this meeting
Oh.
and so, yeah, I'd love to get a
Okay.
meeting with him to talk about it.
If you would leave your phone number,
Uh-huh.
or maybe you put it on this sheet, then I'll have Commissioner Coons reach out to you.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. Next up, Chuck Church. There's no. Good morning.
Well, I just finished my 30-day informal plume study. Plume on the property by Old Airport. And I know that it was more of a learning process, but we're talking about winds and different things. I spoke with Commissioner Lane, and they were going to hire someone or review someone that's gonna do a plume study. So I thought I would get my feet wet and see what it's all about. And maybe we could get some direction and I can get a couple other people. And we can really see what's going on with the winds and why they swirl. And why they hit the banks and why they turn at the lake and all of those type of things.
What was the
That's one
result?
thing.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, what was the results of your informal?
It pretty much turns about every 2-3 hours. The wind goes a different direction. I don't have, I did it in feet instead of, measuring the wind on the ground. And feet travel per second, which is kind of how they normally do it. But I had to start somewhere. The second thing, I'm still, trying to get my culverts put in on 2000 Road to help with the water erosion. That's coming and going. And that's all I had, but I thought I'd share that with you guys. It was a free look into wind.
Thank you.
As we know, a lot of people have wind.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Chuck.
Anybody on the computer, Lindsay?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll continue with the agenda. Next up, county clerk. Guess not. Okay. Okay, Terry Stevens.
Good morning, Commissioners. This morning I have for your consideration the minutes of the August 4th, 2026 Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes?
I have none.
I didn't see anything either.
Also, this morning I have the Board of Equalization consideration of senior exemption applications. The Board of County, Colorado Senior Property Tax exemption applications, if they were denied by the assessor, were mailed out by August 1st. If they wanted to appeal that denial of the assessor, they had until August 15th to turn in their applications that could go before the Board of Equalization. There were no applications received this year, so there will be no senior exemption hearings.
Okay,
That's your update.
Wow,
thank you.
60 seconds or less.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Next up is Commissioner Business, the board's consideration of a resolution relinquishing and reverting its 2026 private activity bond allocation to the statewide balance of the Colorado Department of Local Affairs. That was a mouthful.
On a yearly basis, then Delta County is allocated a certain portion of the private activity bond. And generally that comes to Delta County in April. We explicitly then work with Delta Housing, other interested individuals. There was no interest this year in the private activity bond allocation of $2,200,348. So by statute, then we return that amount to the statewide balance, and county attorney has drafted the resolution for your consideration and discussion.
Thank you. Anything other needs to be added to this, John, or just,
I don't believe so. I mean, this particular, as Robbie indicated, this particular resolution effectively returns that allocation back to for Dola's use, and they have the ability to use it in some place that has a use.
no way we can keep the money?
It's not really money, it's an allocation.
Okay.
Comes a tech.
Okay, thank you. And this will be number 20 resolution? Okay.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026-R-20. Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Delta County relinquishing and reverting its 2026 private activity bond allocation to the statewide balance of the Colorado Department of Local Affairs.
I'll step down and second that. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you. Next up, we have board's consideration of the settlement and a release agreement between Delta County and Benson Brothers Truck and Equipment Company. We have Hans Benson here. Thank you for coming, Hans. I'd like to thank you. The county would like to thank you for your support at the county fair. You spent some money there. Thank you.
Those kids put in a lot of work, so
Mhm.
good things before.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
For your consideration is a settlement and release agreement between Delta County and Benson Brothers Truck and Equipment LLC. This is for the Pig Mesa agreement. Delta County owns the surface rights in Section 3. It's a southwest quarter, the northwest quarter of Section 3, Township 15, Range 95 west of the 6th Principal Meridian. It's located off of Pig Mesa Road, which is a road off of Fairview Road in Eckert. Benson Brothers is the current owner of the surface rights. And as I said, the county owns this sand and gravel rights. We've been in discussion with Benson Brothers to settle this for the Pig Mesa gravel pit. Both parties are in agreement to and mutually desire to fully and finally resolve settle, compromise any and all claims, disputes, obligations arising out of a related Pig Mesa gravel pit and all prior agreements, including the one from October 2005, without any admission of liability or wrongdoing by either party. It's at approximately 9.09 acres that we're talking about, and that's for your consideration today. Do you have any questions for me?
I have none. Hans, anything you would like to add?
I don't, I think everybody's on the same page. Been
Okay,
pretty straightforward here.
okay, thank you.
This has actually been going on for a while, we'll say. So to be able to get to this point, I think is beneficial to all parties involved. Like I said, the back and forth has been going on for quite a while, so. If nobody has any other further things to add, I will make a motion that we enter into a settlement and release agreement between Delta County, Colorado, acting by and through its Board of County Commissioners and Benson Brothers Truck and Equipment LLC, referred to as Benson, and authorize the chair to sign. And we also authorize the chair to sign the deed that will be generated once this agreement is signed.
I'll step down and second that. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Hans.
Thank you. Okay. So you're gonna give a clean copy of it.
I have a clean copy.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, here's the
The agreement.
agreement if you want it as well.
You can keep that.
That we don't need. Okay. That's recorded. So just the agreement. Agreement signed. Sure. Right
No,
here.
I don't have a signed copy. Do you have a signed copy of the agreement? Okay,
I do.
yes, we do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stu might sign that same document.
Okay.
That probably is.
That's, sure,
And then we can get, I'll get you a copy there.
please. I thought Karen dropped all these off. We're not good, right? I thought she had this as well.
No worries.
And
It
I
worked
had
out.
erased the Cedar Edge script. Board.
That's the original you wrote that.
Perfect.
Well, on the vehicle for days that that's for the deed is, it's done for it, and then you'll get the original from that.
Wonderful. Then I'll get with the state and then we can get everything amended.
That's your,
Well, both of us.
that's right.
That's right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Hans.
So do I need to sign this one too?
No, just this one.
Okay,
If you, because this is. I want you to sign. each.
okay.
Take care of it.
Today's the 18th. Okay. Next up, we will review our schedule with Lindsay.
Got County Treasurer Lisa.
Whoop. Oh, you already crossed you, I'm sorry. Come on up, Lisa, for the canceling uncollected property taxes. Sorry. Thank you.
Per Colorado State statute, I'm here to present this morning uncollectible taxes as we found. Colorado State Statute 3910-114. Fortunately, we've only got one account this year, and it is P 809-581 for Black Cable Solutions. This company went out of business in October of 24. Equipment has been moved and they've refused to pay. So the resolution therefore is writing off the taxes of $3,114.08.
Okay. And this is a resolution also.
It is,
Okay,
and I've got that here for you.
that'll be number 21.
Ready?
Yep.
I will make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026-R-21. A resolution canceling uncollected property taxes.
I'll step down and second that. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done.
Click them.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I just about skipped over. You had to walk over here for nothing.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay. Now we have Lindsay in our schedule.
There's the board and health.
I think that was, we're going every other month now.
Thank you. Wednesday, August 18th, AGNC and non-development. Friday, August 21st, 10 a.m. CCI Western District. Saturday, August 22nd, 5 p.m. Lincoln Day dinner.
One thing to add there, there's a search and rescue breakfast on top of Grand Mesa. I don't know if anybody else is going to that.
On Saturday.
Yep, starts at 7 in the morning. Yeah, forget the name they call it. Let's see.
I'll make sure that.
Okay, y'all get,
It starts at 7 a.m.
yeah,
Okay.
Monday, August fourth is the special board of meeting OWTS variant. Monday, August 24th, 3:30, Board of Health work session, chemical toilets. Tuesday, August 25th, is the Board of County Commissioners doing work session, emergency management. That's at 8:30 a.m. Wednesday, August 26th, 10 a.m. is the Tri-County meeting. in State of North County. Did you guys anything?
It seemed like there was some other topic that was added to that 25th work session. Neither here nor there, I think there's another topic.
Tuesday, September 1st is Board of County Commissioners. We have Tuesday, September 1st, 6 p.m. Republican Party meeting. September 7th is Labor Day. All the Delta County administrative offices will be closed that day. September 8th, 8:30 a.m. That will be those Tuesday work sessions. Tuesday, Thursday, September 10th, the Project 187, and Shepherd County breakfast with a group. Tuesday, September 15th is the Board of County Commissioners review meeting. Tuesday, September 15th is the Delta County Board. So is that one? Saturday, September 19th is the Hope West Delta Get Bar. Sure. Tuesday, September 29th will be the Board of County Commissioners standing.
okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll do the jail report. Monday, August 10th, 2026, the Delta County Detention Facility Population Count Report. Male inmates county jail 28, female inmates county jail 5, for a total of 33. The average daily inmate population for the week of 8/3/26 through 8/9/26 was 42.33. Monday, August 17th, the jail population count, male inmates county jail 27, female inmates county jail 7. Male inmates Department of Corrections 1, for a total of 35. The average daily inmate population for the week of 8/9/26 through 8/17/26 was 41.75. Okay. Next up at 9 o'clock, we have Human Service and Annie Gallegos. So we'll stand in recess for a few minutes. Welcome back. It's 9 o'clock. Human Service, Annie Gallegos and her crew are here. Appreciate you coming over.
Good morning.
Chairman, if we could just stop for just a second before we get started. Come to our attention that there's a young lady in the room who's having a birthday today, and so I think it'd be appropriate if we just all stopped and just say happy birthday.
You did.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nicole. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
No?
I did my 37 views.
Did you count them?
I did.
Okay.
Two people recount.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Fittingly, we will start with.
There's nothing different to note
But I thought, travel, was for, the new caseworker training. Other than that, it's pretty boring. Do you have any questions on the page?
No, I don't, thank you.
Boring.
I like financial. At the end of June, we should be at 50% and we are at 53.5. It tapers down throughout the year, so nothing with crazy spending. There is an update on the Delta, the commissioner statement. There's more revenue than the one I submitted. That's a good thing. We got a check from a placement claim. That was about $80,000, so.
So you'll see that reflected next month as well.
Yeah. For closeout, we had $1,600 county only for APS. And then because we sold CCAP and we had MOE reimbursed, we received about 6,000 back at closeout. So we didn't have to pay.
That's also a good thing, right?
Yeah.
We sold 100,000 of our CCAP to Pitkin County.
Yeah, and then I think 2 years ago, MOE is similar to TANF, where we pay so much of that. And so when we sold it, we got that reimbursed back. So is there any questions on where we are in the budget or the statements?
I have no questions. Thank you very much for your attention to detail. It is so involved with all the different categories and accounts and money coming, money going. I appreciate your diligence on that. Thank you.
It's fun when they change the account codes for upload. I feel like they just get bored and they throw something else at us. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Always interesting. Alrighty, so I'll give a few updates and then we can go to our core plan approval. So updates with regards to eligibility, we just had our SNAP management evaluation. We had state staff in our office that met with the technicians, met with supervisors, met with leadership. They observed interviews, they observed client contact, they observed processes, procedures, things like that. And so overall, the report was great. We had several technicians that had error-free cases. And so out of 35 cases sampled, I think there was one that had a piece that needs to get fixed or more of a, I don't know, what would you call it?
It was more of an observation kind of
Right.
correction.
Yeah.
Not a full, like no correction plans. We didn't have any correction plans on anything.
No. So we did really well. So I think we're really proud of the staff and we're trying to figure out a way to celebrate them along with just celebrating eligibility as a whole. Anything else you want to add?
I think staff enjoyed interacting with state staff and hearing the kudos from them and not just hearing it from us relaying what state staff says. They seemed pretty excited to hear from them, so that was a good thing.
Thank you. This month is Child Support Awareness Month. And so we're going to be celebrating them with some green cupcakes and such this month. So we're excited for that. We'll let you know when cupcakes are coming over. And awards, because they also did really well in their audits this last year. Child welfare, we also had the in-home assessment audit, and that also yielded no findings. I think the most important part was that when they noted that when Delta County intervened due to child safety concerns, those interventions were accurate and appropriate 100% of the time. And I think that's significant for our community. So I think, looking at child welfare and the hard work that they put in every single day and the staff, I'm really grateful to them for that.
And that's a tough job when kids are involved, no matter what age, golly.
Yeah. So, adult protection, we are still down one worker right now. And we have one that's also going to be going to get some external training at a conference. She got a scholarship for that, so we're excited there. But that's where our action item also is under child welfare and adult protection is the core plan for this year. Do you want to kind of explain a little bit about what that looks like? What we've lined out for services?
So I think the first pages go over the programs that they've created. When it comes to the budgetary percents, I think on the third or second to last page, I use the previous year. I'll compare it to the year before that and the year before that, just to see if there's a significant discrepancy between how they're spending their core, and I'll adjust, but usually they spend the same. So those percentages for the budget in the categories are just used with the previous year's historic spending.
Our core plan is our allocation that we arrange for any therapeutic services within child welfare that we're paying for individuals that don't have Medicaid or there's not a Medicaid provided service. And we have limited Medicaid providers in our area, so we uniquely contract with individuals to provide services that maybe could be covered by Medicaid, but the provider is not a Medicaid provider. We also have some county designed services, for example, our family drug court program. We support them. We did have a day treatment program before, but we also worked into Project 127 into our core plan this year to continue to pay for the care portal and the supportive services for foster homes, recruitment and retention. So that is the plan we have to have approved by the board today, but it will come in a very fancy DocuSign
Okay.
to you. So it's an action item, but the actual signature will be in a DocuSign.
Am I the only one that has to sign it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As far as adult protective services, are there any new scams out there that we need to be aware of other than over the telephone or anything like that?
Mostly what we've seen in financial scams is the companionship. And so they're linking families or individuals into a companionship type of relationship and then using financial exploitation in that way. And that's what we've seen most recently. And then we always are high on self-neglect.
Oh, yeah.
That's always a high category for APS.
Okay, and a lot of privacy laws and issues come in where you can't share that with the board or with the person that reports the neglect or whatever because of the HIPAA privacy laws that are very strict as far as adults are concerned.
They're very strict. They're stricter than even in child welfare and child protection of what we can and cannot share. And most everything has to be by court order in order for us to release. But we have a great relationship with our state liaison. And so when there are cases that we are concerned about or we just need more guidance on, we facilitate staffings with the state to help us with that guidance and to help us make decisions. Because it's a gray area sometimes, and we want to make sure that we're intervening when we're supposed to be and doing that accurately. Because one of the things that the state values is that you're intervening at the right time. If you're intervening inappropriately, even when we maybe feel something different, right? Because a lot of emotion comes into those cases, we still have to abide by the guidelines of the state. And so making sure that we're making the right decision is important.
Okay, thank you. So we
Anything
just
else
need.
on that?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
So we just need a motion on the core service program.
Well, I'll make a motion that we sign the core services program. The first year of a 3-year plan. Are we in 26, 27? Is that the one that's highlighted right now?
Yes.
For SFY is 26, 27 and authorize the chair to electronically sign.
I'll step down and second that. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Okay.
Great. Well, that's all we have for today. We thank the board for your support and we'll let you know when it is cupcake time.
Okay, good deal. Thank you very much. And they'll be homemade, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Happy birthday, Ken.
Harry, I heard about the property tracker and like the community, like that little pamphlets. They were at Altruista Club, Rotary Club, so they're like, just wanted you to know.
Did you sign up?
I did.
Next on our agenda is 9:30. Callie Hale from the Delta Conservation District, District Manager.
They're here.
Oh,
Is that?
yeah. Oh, So we're listed,
Yeah.
okay. Go ahead and come on up and please introduce yourself.
I'm very happy to introduce Kaja Bowman, our district manager.
Oh, great. Thanks for coming.
Kaja, if you want to introduce yourself to the county commissioners, because I've been interacted with them a few times while I give them some documents.
I just started with the district about 3 months ago now. So I'm catching up on a lot of things that Callie and others have done before. I live out in Paonia. Then I'm in here at the Delta office some as well. Excited to be part of their conservation work over there.
Okay, thank you.
Back to where I'm on Zoom as well, but we want from the Delta Conservation District just wanted to come in and give kind of an annual report of what the world of conservation is looking like. As you are probably very aware, with the very minimal snowpack that we had, as well as the very warm February going into a very cold April. Our farmers and ranchers this year have been very heavily impacted. Most of our fruit growers have lost 90%, around 90% of their fruit this year, which is really a really substantial financial hit to our farmers and ranchers, especially in the North Fork. And we're doing a lot of the community organizations, one of which is the that Delta Conservation District is involved with is the North Fork Producer Support Network. That network is supporting a program called Nourish Our Farmers, or Nourish Your Farmer this year, which is supplying food, meals to farmers and ranchers. Right now in the North Fork, we're hoping to expand into larger Delta County this year just for food security for our farmers and ranchers. But Kaja can probably tell you a little bit more about the actual implementation of that through some of our partnerships.
Yeah, so there's the Big Bees Farmer Social has been happening for a long time for any producers who'd like to join. They meet up there, but at the same time, there's several organizations, they decided to call it a coalition, working together to provide some take-home meals as well from there. And then both at the Learning Council and the farm runners in Paonia and Hotchkiss, producers, we can give them a little like card. We're trying to connect with them and talk them through, but then they can go and pick up some free meals there throughout the week if they need. It's still a busy time for them. They're lost a lot financially, but there's still work to do if they want to have produce next year. So it's kind of still a rough time for them. And then there's also a lot of mental health resources that have been put together and being shared around as well, to try to help anybody who might be struggling in that. And I think we've had a few folks actually utilize those, which is great. So there's been several organizations in Colorado at large that have helped us collect those resources and make them available. And Seed Peace over in the Roaring Fork Valley has been very helpful in that process as well, because they have a program similar to that over there already running.
No, but that's kind of our top of mind program at the moment.
And all the workers involved, you know, the orchard workers, they didn't have a job or, you know,
Yeah.
scaled back tremendously also affected them.
Yes, yeah, and they've been included in the outreach as well. That's who we consider producers is the landowners and all of the support for that, because yeah, they've all been learning.
What criteria does a producer have to follow in order to be classified a producer?
So the coalition kind of decided that they were going fairly loosely. It's a lot of organizations that work closely with these, the North Fork Creative Coalition, the Learning Council,
Valley Food Partnership, we're working with Rocky Mountain Farmers Union, as well, and the Delta Conservation District. So many people and CSU, we're meeting at the CSU Research Station as well as at Learning Council as well. So making sure that we're inviting people from that are engaging in those resources, as well as helping outreach to the people, to farmers and farm workers who might be outside of those support organizations.
So yeah, they just sort of decided not to implement as a group any like strict definition, but those in the community that definitely obviously are impacted financially and have been connected with by somebody in that organization coalition.
Thank you.
I would like to just give you an update kind of on our, how the support that Delta County gives the, Conservation District, which we are very grateful for the $15,000 that you guys provide to us. It really does help support our technicians. Brenna and Bill, we will have an update from in this annual report document. They are still with the district, after, this is their 4th year with us. They're learning exponentially. We've helped some amazing projects get through on water irrigation systems, building that efficiency systems in there, but they've also broken into some of our other programming. Bill helped me substantially with our Colorado Master Irrigator program. We partner with Mesa Conservation District on that, and I did supply you guys a report with their 1-year findings. So one season out of the program, how did the education we're supplying help them? We saw that 98% of the participants that participated saw that they were more efficient with their water, even with 60% of the water they had, they were still able to monitor and irrigate all of their crops last year, at least the participants that were in the class in 2025. Had a really great year last year. We will go back to them this year and say, hey, it was an even tougher year this year in 2026. How did that impact? And we will be doing the same review with the participants who took it this spring in 2026. So we're getting a lot of really good information about how that education is actively saving water, but also stretching that little bit of water further. So I would say this document is a really cool document to look at. So, but you can do that on your own time. Just want to say we are having a real impact on water usage in Delta County, which has been really exciting through that program. Bill and Brenna have also been engaging with some other education. They've been taking the water trailer around, teaching our youth and families about how irrigation water and the river management impacts our county. We had in the last year, almost 3,000 acres were impacted by EQIP grants, which those technicians worked on. And that was like 24 completed projects last year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in a year where engineering, due to the budget cuts from the federal government, has been backed up to 3 to 4 years, to get 24 projects out the door, as well as 17 new contracts allocated. That's really, in the eyes of NRCS, we're going above and beyond. We're actually, I believe, almost caught up on our engineering.
I think we're down to 2 or 3 cases as of a week ago.
Yeah, so, and that has a lot to do with the Conservation District text, because Delta County is one of the only counties that can say it's almost caught up with all of its engineering projects right now, and when it comes to NRCS offices. And I think that really has come to Brenna and Bill's talent as technicians and engineers. So we very much appreciate your support for that. We do an annual survey every year at our annual meeting. Mike, I believe you were there this year. But we do compile some natural resource priority issues from our landowners in Delta County. Our top 5 were soil resources, water, specifically insufficient water and irrigation security, plant resources around plant productivity and health, livestock forage. Also a big project that has come through this year has been wildlife habitat resources, of how do we connect when our ditch companies, which there are many in Delta County, do a salinity project through Bureau of Reclamation. Those projects can take away a lot of our habitat locations, because they're usually taking our riparian habitat with cottonwoods and everything, and we're putting those waterways underground to help with salinity runoff, but it's also removing that habitat. So how do we replace that habitat and find a better system within Bureau of Recs? system, which is sometimes very hard because it's a 50-year contract with a landowner. And so we've actually been doing some work to do listening sessions, learning more about how we can connect our ditch companies with our landowners, build better agreements. And that report is just now getting sent out, but the landowners of Delta really showed up and brought in a lot of their voice around creating a habitat bank here in the Delta County area for those ditch companies to have access to habitat replacement sites. And the district has stepped up for a few years and said this is something that we may want to leave. So there might be something that we come to you in the future about, but the landowners in Delta County really expressed a need for that in the future.
So what role would you see the county having?
Mostly just how we would just come in and tell you more about that project as we work with, we would be establishing a whole new entity within our county, within the district to manage a habitat bank, which would be contracting landowners to set aside parts of their properties which have riparian habitat, and then setting up a kind of an oversight between that landowner and the ditch company that they're contracting with. The county would just be there because you are our governing entity. We would just like to keep you updated on how that is looking, because it's specifically impacting land in the county. So you wouldn't have to put anything behind it other than support, but we would inform you about that program.
Does this exist at all now, or is it the new initiative you consider?
So the program the program for salinity projects already exists. The habitat bank would be a new initiative. Yeah.
And how do you anticipate that would be recorded? You talked about a 50-year contract. Obviously, those properties are going to change hands multiple times, probably.
Yes, and so that's where we would probably ask for guidance and leadership talking about and putting those contracts to the land, not to the owner specific. So it would be kind of like a short-term land easement or things like conservation easement. So, yeah. So mostly we would look for guidance on dealing with that, but we would be partners with Colorado West Land Trust, which is the major land trust organization on the area as well. And if your land is already conserved, it really wouldn't impact you other than getting additional support because the land is preserved in perpetuity. I can say words.
For use forever.
Yes.
So typically conservation easements are forever. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be a shorter term. There's been a big push this year from landowners in Delta and in Montrose County for like shorter term conservation easements, like how instead of, maybe it's for somebody's lifespan, they're gonna conserve for some amount of time, but they don't want to. They've had a lot of experience, I would say poor and great experiences with other conservation groups. And so we received a lot of feedback this year in those listening and outreach sessions regarding maybe just like shorter term, still long, like 50 years is still a really long time, but that it's more of a person's lifetime conservation versus still giving their children or their grandchildren the opportunity to do something with the property later on, but conserving it for a while. So that also came into those agreements. So. We are still working on several different water projects to help promote water engineering. And we are also doing two grant, we wrapped up one grant and have started a new one, which I'll let Conjo tell you about. We wrapped up our ecological planting grant in 2020, at the end of 2026, which was beginning of 2026, end of 2025, which awarded 7 landowners with small planting grants. We funded over $16,000 to landowners in Delta County, as well as did a planting and pollinator seminar in partnership with CSU. And that allowed 7 farmers and ranchers to implement better pollinator habitat within our farms and ranches, as well as windbreaks and fencing projects. And that program really did help kind of, I wouldn't say beautify, obviously pollinator habitats are also very beautiful, but also just put living roots onto soil that had been barren or ill-used in the past, and really just establishing more of those banks within the area. I believe that impacted about 200 acres overall in Delta County, but that was a smaller grant. This year, we have started a new grant helping, and we are going back to the engineering with NRCS, creating CSP, which is outside contracted engineering for our NRCS engineering projects. Kaja can tell you a little bit more about this.
It's called a technical service provider. So with the backlog of engineering and the NRCS, we are using these funds to help folks get the engineering cost partly covered to get outside engineering that's then approved by the NRCS. So that to help with those projects to move along rather than waiting. So far this year, we've actually only awarded 2. One is for a rather large project out in Orchard City. And then one on county land, unincorporated. And we have some more funding left, so we're putting that out in our newsletter. The hard part is they have to have an approved project with the NRCS already. So there's a limited number of folks who are in that position, but it helps cover a cost and then cost as well to get those projects moved along. We're also working on have our conservation practices grant, which we've awarded, and we should be getting those projects, seeing those started here soon, which was a much larger grant that was provided to us to help producers within our district. So we awarded over $70,000 in awards there for various types of projects. There were some irrigation projects, some planting projects, some fertilizing projects, which is actually being kind of run as a test of multiple different kinds and being documented so we can better advise others in the area of these locally provided options for organic farmers and the cost efficiency sort of ratio. So that's going to be really fun to see the results of after this season, whenever they start coming in and in the next season.
Yeah, that's really, and in line with that, we are also going to be planning a water irrigation, we're calling it irrigation manager or ditch manager gathering in November. We're still working on confirming the location of that, but that will be trying to bring all of our unincorporated ditch companies as well as our the ditch companies in Delta together to gain some education, as well as talk about the struggles this year, give them that peer-to-peer time and space, as well as just honor them for all of our hard work this year. And that will be in November. So we're in the planning stages, but you'll definitely be invited to that.
Do you have a list of irrigation companies in Delta County?
We do have a fairly comprehensive one.
Okay.
Of course, with as many unincorporated ditches, it's hard to get everybody in the same room, but we, luckily through some of our partnerships, we have a good list of those. Would you like us to send that to you?
Yeah, I'd be kind of interested in looking at that.
Yeah, and we do have a fairly good map. We several years ago, we were able to map most of the ditches in Delta County as well. So I can see if I can find those digital files for you as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. As I think I talked about this last year when I was here, the Colorado Soil Health Program through the state was severely defunded last year, which did impact many acres here in Delta County through our program. We had we gave over $30,000 to farmers and ranchers in direct support for soil health conservation work on their farm or on mostly ranches here in Delta County. And through that has ended, and that's it's why one of the blessings of this new initiative we're going through with the conservation grants that we were able to do has really helped bridge that gap of support through that program. But we are always looking for ways to support that soil health initiative and building more fertile, resilient soils here in Delta County. So, do you have any questions for us?
No, I think you kind of answered the question.
I'm looking at your drip tape adapter program.
Yeah.
What's the feature of that one? That one's kind of intriguing to me.
We actually just we just started our new cycle of funding for that. So we are going into our kind of a larger manufacturing on this testing side this summer. And we have some really cool new evolutions of that project this year, trying to make it just more feasible for farmers and ranchers, moving into the silicone based as opposed to a hard 3D printed model that we previously had. We're now molding in silicone, which is allowing for much tighter. Yes. And that is so we are currently looking for a new molder to join our team on that development. But
A new what?
Somebody who can make a mold for silicone
Oh.
as opposed when we developed this, we were building those with a 3D printer, and so it was a very rigid component. We found that with the silicone, it creates an internal gasket, which really does help with leakage and water efficiency that way. So we are moving into larger scale testing here.
What kind of crops is this actually used for? What's the limitations on that?
The wonderful thing is with drip tape, we're not building it for somebody to transition all of their gated pipe into a drip system. If you're gonna go 100% drip, there's much more effective systems than what we're doing. Where we're developing is something for like this year, where you've got 40% of the water that you normally have. You have to be very efficient with your water. Okay, we're gonna transition these fields, which have traditionally been on a furrow irrigated, into drip for this year or for 2 years. So we're gonna put drip line on for this season while the water is very low. And that would allow somebody to transition from do anything that they were doing in like an orchard that was doing flood irrigating off of a gated pipe. They could transition to drip tape very easily for that 1 or 2 years, and that drip tape would still provide that direct water to the trees without it becoming without having to do furrow. And when you're doing drip, it's on your bed, it's only delivering water to that very center, right where your crops are, as opposed to with flood, it has to percolate and go all the way in from the outside on those furrows. So you can deliver the same amount of water to the plant, but with less water coming out of the ditch. So it's one of those efficiency things. When it comes to crops, all crops have a threshold of like it needs X amount of water to grow. So there could be 40% of the water in your ditch and you can only be maybe watering twice, but that crop is still going to need 17 inches of water to grow to maturity. So ideally, this is something where you're transitioning. Maybe you have a field in corn, and each variety of corn takes a different water demand, but you're gonna change that field to go into melons this year because you can directly put that melons are a cash crop too, but you can put drip tape underneath them and still deliver less water than you would with furrow irrigating corn on that field that year and still make a profit. So that's like
what kind of filtration systems are these kinds of systems?
So we trialed this without a filtration system. We're going to be experimenting with filtration systems this year due to some legal issues. I can't go into the full details of what filtration systems we're trying this year, but we will be just seeing how effective we can make that process and seeing how we can make filtration easier for people transitioning. We're pretty lucky in our areas in that we don't have a ton of, especially if you can get it where it's water pressurized, where most of your silt is going down to the bottom of your gated pipe. We haven't had any, we've had maybe 1 or 2 of our drip emitters get clogged, but it has not affected us deeply in our initial trials yet. So, yeah. We obviously would like to make our regular request of an annual of annual support. With inflation, we would ask that be risen from that 15,000 to 17 or 18,000 this year. We'd love to provide raises to our farmers or to our technicians this year, and your support goes directly to supporting the engineering efforts of our large irrigation projects, as well as to Brenna and Bill spend 20% of their time just helping with community projects in the area. So it is it really does help us show that we appreciate them and their dedication to Delta County and Delta Conservation District. Of course, we are just grateful for any support that you guys provide us, so.
Thank you very much for the update and for coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Nice to meet you as well. Your name again was?
Kaja.
Kaja. And we'll obviously be sending out an invitation here. And we hope I'm also helping Amy Perkins in your tourism department with the ag mural and our ag appreciation night. And we're very grateful for your support of those events as well. So
That's coming up in October, right?
You know, I was so excited. I was like, look at the mural. Yeah, that would be in November. But we're just really grateful for all of your support to the ag community. It truly does mean a lot. It's a foundational part of our county.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
I ran out of updates, so I only had 3
Okay,
These items that you provided, could you provide those digital?
I did, I sent them to Robbie.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
thank you. Drive careful, thanks. Is there anything else I need to come before the board today? Okay, we'll go ahead and stand adjourned then. Thank you very much.